Okay, what's going on? Why is it so difficult for younger blacks who are progressive to form social networks? Because, the way I look at it, it really shouldn't be that hard with all the brain power that we have with, the whole YouTube, Twitter thing, and, everybody's in this industry and that industry. Why is it so damn challenging? And it's challenging because, as progressive blacks, men and women, we are not cutting the dead weight. Okay? We are not parting ways with people who aren't moving in our same direction. Not to say that they're bad people and, they're below somebody, but we're just not moving in the same direction. Right? It is what it is. I had a friend during my 4th year in school, engineering, doing his thing, already landed a job. Pretty much, he started to do the whole interview thing, but, he was already, in where he needed to be. And I usually don't do this, but he was about to get a tattoo on his arm, one of those I think as they call it, the tattoo sleeve or something. I don't know what it was called. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he was like, yeah, me and my boys are gonna go get tattoos, to celebrate. I forgot the occasion. And his boys were his friends from back in high school, okay, who really didn't do much. Some tried to do the whole JC thing, but they weren't serious, so they're kind of just like, acting like grown kids. Whereas this dude, is hopefully trying to, land a good paying job as a mechanical engineer. And I said to him, yo, you're about to be an engineer, dog. Like, are you really going to show up to an interview with a tattoo? Right? I understand that you're going to be wearing a long sleeve, but what happens when you have casual Friday? Or what happens when, your boss invites you to a Christmas dinner? Right? Or a summertime barbecue? Are you really going to be walking around in a turtleneck all day? You have to think about where you're trying to be. And to my surprise, he never factored that in. Right? I get on the women sometimes about when I was in school about, them inviting bullshit dudes to parties to the point, where I was still in college worrying about, am I going to get shot or am I going to get jumped? Right? And I have to apologize because, the men were equally as guilty. Right? Some of these dudes was telling their homeboys and they was coming up there causing trouble, and the kid that invited it up there was participating as if he can't get kicked out of school. Right? How you gonna try to bang and you're getting financial aid? Right? How you gonna try to bang and you have a work study job? Right? So the dudes was doing that too. And I'm like, yo, no wonder why we can't have any social networking. Right? This idiot is gonna bring these dudes who don't even understand what we're trying to do. Right? So that's what the dudes don't do. And, and the women do the same thing. I was at the grocery store like 11 o'clock. Okay? My grocery store closes at 12. Went to go pick up some juice. You can never have too many drinks. And I was there, and there was these 2 black chicks in there. And they look straight out of a black comedy film, like on some like hood rat. We about to go to the club. I swear one of the girls had like a bikini top on with some jeans and some boots on. I don't know what the hell she had on. Like her whole back and front was exposed, and I'm like, yo, you're like 75% naked right now. And she recognized me, and I was like, how do you know me? And she was like, oh, I'm so and so's homegirl. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll tell her you said hi. And I'm like, oh, you about to see her right now? Yeah, she's waiting for us in the car. I didn't even go say hi to her. I'm like, these are the people you're rolling with. And she recognized me because, I don't know, maybe she saw a picture that I had with the chick on Facebook. Okay? You know, she was like, oh, you're so-and-so's friend from college, right? And I'm like, yeah, how do you know her? We went to high school together. And I'm like, yo, they still kicking it tough? Like, these are the people that you're going out with? These are the people you kicking it with? And they were loading up on alcohol. And I'm like, yo, for reals? Like, I was disgusted, y'all, to the point where I was just like, I'm not even going to go to the car to see her. All I was in there for was, you know, buying juice. I acted like I was doing grocery shopping. You know, I stalled because I wanted them to be gone. I didn't even want to go outside to the parking lot and even risk having to run into her. That's how disgusted I was, y'all. And I'm like, yo, no wonder. No wonder why the dudes would be hesitant, right? If this is the crowd that she's going to bring with her, right, what kind of social network can we ever have? So this is one of those situations where, to be real, you know, we both have some dirt on our hands and faces, right? You know, no one side has more. You know, we're both not doing a good job in terms of separating people who aren't moving in our direction. Because I can almost guarantee if we did that, we would almost be forced to create our own social networks. We would almost be forced to. We'd have no other alternative. And it's a good thing. Right? You should be around like-minded people. Right? I always get upset this time of year, right? Because all my boys, you know, they all pretty much already left. They left on Tuesday to go back to DC, Philly, Maryland. And it's just like, you know, I have to wait another year till next summer when they're back out here. Right? So, you know, I definitely have the incentive, you know, to try to create some sort of social network. Because it's ridiculous. I don't even see how you could be comfortable hanging out with those people. I understand your background is your background, but look at where you're trying to go. You're telling me you're going to compromise your future simply because you don't want to give up your past. It's bullshit. And you know that's the excuse. Why are you kicking it with her? Oh, we grew up together. As if she's really going to help you get to where you want to get. And, you know, there has to be a point where you cut ties and force yourself to grow, right? You know, the whole crossing of the whole threshold, right? That's the most painful process. But once you get through it, things will get a whole lot better. Okay? So we can definitely set up our own social networks wherever we're at. We have the knowledge, we have the resources, but we have to understand that we have to cut dead weight, y'all. We have to cut dead weight. We have to cut people who aren't moving in our direction. I don't care if you guys are elementary school friends. Okay? Because all you're doing is making them happy at the expense of your future. So, you guys think about it. Let it marinate. Come holler at me. Take care. God bless.